This is Sharon Pastilli, District 3, and this is the Finance Committee meeting of the RTM on January 19th, 2021. And I'm calling the meeting to order. It's 9:02 p.m. I'm going to take attendance. Hank?
I'm sorry, yes, Hank's here.
Okay, Hannah?
Hannah's present.
Matt?
Yes, sir, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mike?
Yes.
Amy?
Here.
Tamisha?
Here.
Joe?
Yes, here.
Okay, I'm here. So that's everybody. Okay, so the first item is, hold on one second. So I have the agenda open. It looks like the first item is number 7 for the appointment of Mark Joyella to Fair TV. So do I have a motion to approve item 7?
I make a motion to approve item 7.
Okay. Is it Tamisha?
Yep, it's me.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Joe.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Okay. So,
Sharon.
Yeah? Yep.
Sharon, correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't show up, right?
No, he didn't show up.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, who's that? Sorry. Can you tell me who voted aye?
Sorry, it was Amy.
Okay. Any opposed? And abstentions?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm also abstaining. So I think Amy is approving. There are no nays, and everyone else is abstaining. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay. And then, all right. Sorry, Joe, I'm taking notes at the same time as you, just in case.
Yeah. I got
Okay.
it.
Okay, cool.
Tamisha, motion
right.
to approve. Joe, second. Amy voted yes, no opposed. Everyone else abstained.
Okay, perfect. All right, so item 8, do I have a motion to approve item 8, which is for the Ethics Commission for Brian Cantor, for the appointment of Brian Cantor, and I guess we'll vote on them separately. So for Brian Cantor, do I have a motion to approve the appointment?
Yes, I'll make a motion.
I'll
Okay,
second,
Hannah.
Mike.
Okay, Hannah, Mike. Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, and then with respect to item 8, the appointment of Dana Carey, do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah, Hank will make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, who is that? Sorry.
Tamisha?
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, so that one's unanimous. Item 9, which is for the appointment of Steve Kornichek to the Special Projects Standing Building Committee. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yeah, Hank will make a motion to approve.
Okay,
Mike.
second. Oh, I'm sorry, wait. I'm really sorry. Who just made the motion? Was it Hank?
I said I would second.
Yes.
Mike.
Okay, and then Mike, are you second?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I can't hear well. So, is there any?
It's the math.
Well, it's like you're Bluetoothing straight into my hearing aids, so it's like anyway. It's like I'm hearing voices. Okay, so is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that passes unanimously. And then on item 10, item 10 is the sale of 196 Riverside Drive for $22,500. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Who was that?
Tanisha?
Thank you, Tanisha.
Matt will second.
Okay. That was Matt, right?
Matt Jacobs.
Matt seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Second. Got it. Thank you.
I guess everybody just narrate because I'm sorry. I apologize.
Everybody
starting
acts like you have Iliism.
I'm just starting to
Yeah,
recognize everybody's voices.
Just talk in the third person. Everybody has Iliism.
Everyone talking the third person will be fine.
Unless someone's Rich Little and is intimidating somebody else.
Okay, is there any discussion?
I do want to say something. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I just last year, or it was at the very end of Mike Tetro's term, his last term. There was like this parcel of land at Southport Beach that was sold for very, very cheap to an adjacent homeowner. And at the time, like I didn't think anything of it because it was presented like, oh, you know, this you know, nobody goes here, it's not useful or whatever. And since then, I've been down to the beach and checked it out personally, and I realized that we gave up a piece of public land that allowed you to actually walk around and extended the beach line there, and that's actually a big loss.
Sorry to interrupt. That was a trade. That was a trade deal where they gave up something and got something in return.
Oh, I just remember it being a sale. No?
There was a sale that we had to approve, but there was also a related gift as opposed to a purchase, I believe, where it's because people were constantly using a piece of their land, so they gave that piece up in return for something else for right-of-way or something like that. Does that sound familiar, or am I crazy?
I think it's the same case, but I think what wound up happening is that you know, they I guess people came, I guess they were cleaning it up and stuff like that, but we did wind up losing a piece of the beach that in retrospect was actually incredibly valuable because people, it's a very we don't own very much at Southport Beach, and so having those that extra area to walk on actually made a big difference. And so I sort of vowed that from then on, I was upset about it when I actually saw what we'd given up. And so I just have sort of made an inner vow to make sure that I paid attention to these kinds of sales, that there isn't something of public value that we're losing when we have them. But honestly, in this one, I don't see any public value, was what I was trying to say. Just scrutinizing this, I really don't think there is public value here, and I really, but I guess I want to know if anyone knows of any potential public value. Like, I wouldn't have known that I would have valued keeping that piece of property to walk on if I hadn't walked it myself. Has anyone walked this, and is there any public value?
The related concern that I have is that that one that was on Pine Creek was a lot less acreage, and we sold it for a lot more money. I have it in my notes. That 135 Pine Creek Avenue was .043, and that one went for $66,000. So for me, like 22.5, which is less than the appraised value, with one bidder, and 2 years before, I think it was the market value. If you look in the paperwork, there was one value that was like 126.5, and another one that was like, the appraisal, it was 126.5, and the assessment was 88, I think. I can't open I can't open the backup at the same time as the agenda, so I apologize if the numbers are wrong. But to me,
you're talking about Pine Creek Avenue by the beach.
Well, I'm just citing that as like I think that was the last one we might have voted on, and that one was .043 for $66,000, and this is .13, which is 3 times the size, for only 22.5, and then you have an encroachment already, like the other neighbor's deck is sitting on it. So it's going to increase each of their properties by like $60,000. It just seems like the appraisal value, just from a gut check, it doesn't seem right to me. So I want to find out more about the different methods of appraising, because like we should be selling it at, I think town code stipulates we have to sell it at fair market value. So how is fair market value being determined? Like, I would expect it to be more along the lines of the Pine Creek Avenue value, not
that low,
22.5. 22.5 seems like really inexpensive. That's just me.
Well, based on the description, it's a small piece stuck between two houses that is unbuildable on its own and doesn't provide access to anything. It has zero use unless you own one of the abutting properties, meaning you have 2 potential bidders, other than someone going, I want to make your life more difficult and make sure you can't build your garage out of spite. Those are your 3 bidders, the people who are abutters and the spite guy.
Yeah, right.
And if there was literally no other bidders when there was a public process, either they didn't advertise it well or nobody else cared.
Yeah.
From what I heard, we could make a big stink about it for, and see if we could get a more public process and do the whole thing over for potentially the same results, or potentially, $20,000 to $40,000 at some cost to the town. Or we, when I hear fair market value, I go, there was a public bidding process and nobody wanted it. The one guy who bid set the market value.
Right. I'm looking at it.
I mean, the free market has spoken. There is no value.
Right. Well, one thing that I noticed that, this is Amy, that Jill said is that, and I double-checked it, it's the assessed value is $88,550, which would mean that based on the assessed value, the fair market value is $126,500, which I think is crazy. I mean, this just could be one of those outliers that the town has, an incorrect assessment on, but at least that's some indication that it is worth more than, 25.
Yeah, yes and no. But the question is the assessment just based on the size of the property? Because if they said, here's what the square footage is, here's what stuff around it sells for based on that square footage, if 1,000 square feet sells for X, then 500 square feet sells for half of X. If that's all they did and didn't take into account the fact that it was an unbuildable piece of land, then the assessment's just wrong. I mean, that would, I guess, be the only question is how they did the assessment. And if it sounds like the assessment is roughly equal to the stuff around it in terms of dollars per square foot, for an empty lot, then I would just argue the assessment's probably wrong.
So I'm looking at it right now on Google Maps, and it's like a beautiful piece of natural meadowland, kind of. Like there
but
may
it's not.
be.
It's not built. It's not. Is it built? It's not buildable on its own, right? Okay.
No,
I suppose you could cut down a tree and put a chair there.
It's an eighth of an acre.
But it's there's a whole ecosystem there right now, which is going to get completely paved over and turned into a garage. Because it's got a bunch of natural plants there. Unless I'm looking at the wrong thing, but I think I'm at 196. 185. Oh, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Let me look. It might have gone to something else.
216.
No, I think I'm at 18. I think it's showing me 185.
The numbers on Google Maps are iffy in that area. It's like at the bend.
Okay.
It's between Bay Edge and actually there's no other street on the other side. It's not where that little tiny bridge is.
Okay.
So
I can drop a pin in.
So I think
the
biggest question that's on my mind, I don't know if anyone else has a comment on this, is how you come up with the appraised value, to set the sale price. So how we landed at $22,500 for this property and $66,000 for that other one on South Pine Creek, or Pine Creek Avenue. Sorry.
I mean, the one on Pine Creek was closer to the beach, correct?
I think so.
But Riverside's really nice.
I think I found the right one on Google Maps. I'm looking at the street view, and there's nothing there. It's just empty. There's one tree, and that's it. It's a tiny tree too.
Okay. All right. So are there any other comments? Okay. Hearing none.
Wait, Sharon?
Yeah.
This is Tamisha. So I'm concerned if we vote no, how does that make the RTM look, seeing that they've already accepted the number for the lot and they're basically in closing mode?
Well, it's up to approve it or not.
It won't matter for the committee meeting. This will just be whether it's consent calendared.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, no, this is not the actual vote. But if we all agreed, it would be on the consent calendar, so that we would basically be able to bundle all the items together where we've all voted yes, and not hear them individually.
Okay.
But it sounds like there's enough questioning on this anyway. So
yeah.
I think it's probably not going to be on the consent calendar anyway.
So
wow.
What are we voting for? What are we voting on right now?
So we're voting on item 10. It's whether or not to approve this sale for 216 Riverside Drive.
Okay. Just double checking because I.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. All right.
Nope.
So,
Yeah, that's what we're voting on. Amy will make a motion.
Yeah, we already.
I thought that.
Yeah, we had the motion. We had the second.
To me.
Yeah, we've had the discussion. So, is there any other discussion?
So that I just want to say that home sold. I'm looking on like Zillow, for like almost $900,000.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
What sold for 900,000?
196 Riverside Drive. Or maybe that's wrong. Hang on. Or maybe that's the heading. Yeah, that's the heading. Maybe that's wrong. No, yeah, 196 Riverside Drive. Estimate $891,791. So that's a $900,000 home.
Yeah.
So why is that relevant? I fail to see the relevance.
So do I.
Well, because it's relevant to the value of the lot because it's an indication of how valuable the home already is.
Yeah, and the land.
But the land right now, as owned by the town, only has value to one of the abutters, which is kind of the point I was trying to make before. Like, yes, the stuff around it is valuable, but that specific piece on the open market will only have 3 possible bidders, either one of the houses next door or somebody buying it out of spite. I don't see somebody buying it out of spite as a legitimate option. So your only 2 bidders will be the people next door to each other. They obviously knew this was a thing because they mentioned the conversation they have. And if one of them doesn't want it, there's no market. You just have the one guy. And if there's no market, there's no market value. So whether or not we think it should be worth more, we can try and say, no, we're going to have another bid. We're going to start it back up. You're not going to have more people show up.
But there's other value. Like, but
it doesn't matter. The only value that matters is what someone will pay. And if no one will pay for this, unless you want to show up and say, I'm going to raise the bid and risk getting locked in and having to buy it, I'm not doing that.
No, there is other value than what someone will pay. We're already in a town where almost square inch is built on. Having a little piece of open land actually is quite valuable.
But we already own it, don't we?
Yeah, so why do we, as I'm saying, maybe we shouldn't sell it to them.
Okay. Are there any other comments?
Didn't Tamisha originally motion to approve and Matt second? Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so what are we doing?
Okay, so now if there's no other comments, we're going to vote. Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Okay, I'm going to have to voice vote it. I'm sorry.
Take a roll call.
Yeah, roll call. Sorry. Hank?
I'm going to vote no.
Okay. Hannah?
I'm going to vote no. Well, actually, I'm going to abstain until I see it. I'm going to go look at it.
Okay. Matt?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Amy?
Abstain.
Tamisha?
Abstain.
Joe?
Yes.
All right, I'm abstaining.
Sharon.
Let me know.
Amy,
Joe, do you want to just run it down so we can?
All right, so here's what I have. Sharon, Amy, Tamisha, abstain.
Hannah also.
Hank? Oh, Hannah, I thought you said no.
No, I changed it to abstain.
All right, you're abstained. Thank you. So, again, abstain. Sharon, Amy, Tamisha, Hannah, abstain. Hank is a no. Mike Mahoney, Matt Jacobs, and myself are a yes. Is that a correct summary?
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay,
Great,
cool.
thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, thanks, guys. I can't wait till we're in person again. Okay. So, item 11, which is the lease and license agreement for the Fairfield Theater Company for the town road property adjacent to 1410 Post Road. So, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion
Yeah,
to approve.
All right, Hank will second then.
Okay.
Who
I'm
approved?
sorry. Who was first?
Hannah.
Okay. Don't forget, call yourself by the third person. Okay.
Hank, second. Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah, motion to approve. Hank, second. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And then is there any discussion on this? Okay. Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Abstentions? Okay.
I'm going to
unanimous.
abstain.
Okay, I'm
No.
sorry. Amy?
Yep.
Okay. Everyone else was a yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, since nobody's arguing, I'm assuming that's correct. Okay. So,
You got it.
All right. So on the item 12, which is the Homeland Security grant for the Safe Boat. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, I'd like to make the motion to approve. This is Hank.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll
I
second
second.
Mike.
Misha?
Okay. And is there any discussion?
Mike, I think you chimed in for second just before Tamisha, so I'm going to put you as second, Tamisha, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
So,
Just want to make sure I'm not hacking anybody off here.
Hank, can you give us
Okay.
a little insight? Hank, can you I know that there was a lot of discussion on this week. I was just wondering if you just give us a little insight on this.
No, I don't have a lot of insight on it, but once again, this is a federal grant that if we don't accept it, then it's going to go to somebody else. Essentially, in a sense, it's free money, and I think we ought to take advantage of it.
Yep.
I agree.
I would tend to agree with that. Free money's good.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Okay. I'm sorry, but that typing in my ears is really hurting. I apologize. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, so that one's unanimous, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Got it.
And then
That was it, right?
I think
Safe boat?
that's it because there's no items on 13 or 14. Okay, so
Great.
do we have a motion to adjourn?
Joe?
Okay, second?
Tamisha?
Matt.
Okay. Okay, thank you, guys.
Got it.
All right,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you, Sharon.
All right, thank
Good
you.
Thank you,
night.
Sharon. Good job. And
Thank
Joe,
you.
good job.
Yeah.
Thanks for your patience. I know it's just really hard for me because I'm hearing impaired, so I appreciate you being patient with me.
It's tough to do on an audio conference call, so thank you everybody for. So I have 5 pages of notes. Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
I have 2. I'll help you out. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Good night.
Have a good evening, everybody.
You too.
Bye.
You too.